How's it going, everyone? We've got a plethora of PlayStation Store deals to go over in this video. Gonna be looking at deals for you ballers out there, though, for games over the price of $10, but under $20. So, I guess, you know, what's in between, like, baller and broke? Somewhere in between there, actually, I guess. For relative to our channel and the deals we typically cover, it may as well be for ballers. But, nevertheless, we got quite a few deals to go over. This is still not everything, of course. This deal is pretty massive. The spring sale, that is, but that being said, let's get right into it. Hogwarts Legacy on PlayStation 5 is $17.49. The PlayStation 4 version is available for $14.99, but most of you guys, I would imagine, are on PlayStation 5 at this point. But yeah, I really enjoyed Hogwarts Legacy. I thought it was a really solid game as far as, you know, that Harry Potter thematic open world RPG. I'm not even, you know, crazy about the Wizarding World or anything like that, but I just thought this game was really well done. Visuals were great. PS5 Pro enhanced as well. I thought the gameplay was really solid, and for me, a smaller scale open world like this is so much more up my alley than some of these overblown, gigantic, gargantuan open worlds. I'm just not all about that these days. But yeah, Hogwarts Legacy I thought was a great game. Red Dead Redemption 2, 75% off for $14.99. You know, it's funny. I go from Hogwarts Legacy, the smaller scale open world, to Red Dead Redemption 2, the gigantic, colossal open world, and this is one of my favorite games of all time, so let me just go contradict myself right there. But RDR2 is an outlier as far as the gigantic, colossal open worlds that I'm really investing into these days, and it came out 7 years ago at this point, but even being 7 years old, this game is absolutely tremendous. This is one of the best games from an attention to detail standpoint that I've ever played in my life. Even 7 years later, the visuals are still incredible. The only thing we're missing, of course, is the PlayStation 5 upgrade. It pains me that we don't have a PS5 upgrade. I'm sure it'll come out in like 2032 just randomly with 1 month of promotion because Rockstar can do whatever the hell they want and a game is still gonna be gigantic. But yeah, $14.99 for Red Dead 2. It's a no-brainer. I'm sure most of you guys own it, but if you're one of the few that don't, come on, go buy it and then go play through it as soon as possible and then thank me later. Resident Evil 4 is 50% off for $19.99. Great deal for Resident Evil 4. This is one of the best video games of all time, the original Resident Evil 4. And you're remaking it from the ground up. You get one of the greatest video games of all time again and better than ever. Atmosphere is tremendous, and this is the Resident Evil game that took the franchise more to an action-y approach, but it worked out pretty damn well. It still has that horror aesthetic, that horror vibe to it. And for $19.99, certainly a no-brainer here. RE4 is absolutely fantastic. Next up, we got Assassin's Creed Mirage, 60% off for $19.99. This is a game that I would recommend you to play after you play Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It centers around Basim, who's in AC Valhalla. It's a smaller scale Assassin's Creed game. I believe it initially started development as a expansion, and then they spun it into its entire game, Halo 3 ODST style. But I thought it was pretty good. Again, it's a smaller scale Assassin's Creed game. It's very much of the newer Assassin's Creed gameplay style. It's just smaller scale, smaller in size, and for me, that was totally up my alley. I like Basim as a character, and for $19.99, I think this is a pretty good price. Maybe that initial $50 price tag was a little bit hefty, but for $19.99, I think it's pretty good. Next up, we got Mafia Trilogy, 75% off for $14.99. You got Mafia Definitive Edition, Mafia 2, and Mafia 3. Mafia 1 and 2 are really good. Mafia 3, the open world approach, honestly, was more of a detractor to the experience rather than being an expansion of Mafia. I think Mafia is better as a contained experience and focusing on the grittiness, the narrative. I think that is where Mafia shines, and you had that in Mafia 1 and 2. Mafia 3 lost some of that, but all three games for $14.99 I think is a great price, and Mafia 3 is still worthwhile to play, and excited for Mafia the Old Country, which is out later this year. Dying Light 2 Stay Human, 67% off for $19.79. Dying Light 2 is a really good game. I know most people, myself included, will talk of Dying Light 1 more, but Dying Light 2 is still solid. The exploration in the open world is great. The parkour is great. The combat I'm not crazy about, but I still think overall the game is really good. Narratively, starts off incredibly compelling for the first half. I think it loses itself in the second half. I think it went a little bit off the rails in the second half, but overall still a really enjoyable game, and I definitely would recommend it. Next up, we have Assassin's Creed Odyssey, 80% off for $11.99. Whenever I talk to people that are super into the newer style of Assassin's Creed games, the Origins, the Odysseys, Odysseys, the Valhallas, and throw Shadows in there now as well. Odyssey seems to be the one that stands out to people as their favorite. Everybody I talk to seems to resonate with Odyssey the most. I do think Shadows is going to take that from some people. I think some people are super into Shadows from a setting standpoint and the world, but Odyssey is the one that I feel like resonated the most with the player. I feel like people like the setting in this game as well. Story was good, main character was likable, and I thought overall it was a solid game. Obviously, the Assassin's Creed and the newer styles are not my cup of tea, but you know, I can still assess why people like them, but nonetheless, $11.99 on that. When I say open world games that are way too big, I'm looking at Assassin's Creed. Whatever I said that about Hogwarts Legacy and Red Dead, Assassin's Creed is the one. It's like, all right, brother, how about you take that back a notch? But, you know, it is what it is. Spyro Reignited Trilogy, 65% off for $13.99. This includes Spyro, Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage, and Spyro Year of the Dragon. This is a franchise that I am incredibly nostalgic with. Spyro 2 was one of the very first video games I ever played when I got my PlayStation 1. It was Spyro 2, it was Mega Man X4, and have some great memories with it. And obviously, when you have all three games in this Reignited Trilogy, revamped visuals, it's gonna be right up my alley. And they're great platformers nonetheless. Like, I didn't grow up with Crash Bandicoot, but Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is something that I still often recommend because it is a good set of platformers. Spyro Reignited Trilogy resonated with me more because nostalgia is a hell of a drug, and Reignited Trilogy had that for me. But $13.99 on that is great. Speaking of Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time is 67% off for $19.79. A great platformer here. Crash Bandicoot is an IP that I feel like Activision can do more with. I'm not saying that it's going to be this gigantic mascot IP, but I feel like it deserves more time, more titles, excuse me, and Crash 4 turned out to be a really, really solid game. A great platformer, charming design, great art style. $19.79 is a good pickup on that. Dead Space Remake, $17.49 on this. You know what? Dead Space is an IP that I thought, you know, EA could do a lot more with, but Dead Space Remake came out and it seemed like to just not click from a commercial standpoint with people for whatever reason. I don't know why that is, but, you know, the people that played it seemed to really like it. I really liked it. I thought the atmosphere was great. I thought as far as a remake goes, this is how it's done, and it was just as good as the quality of remake that Resident Evil 4 was. Dead Space isn't as good as Resident Evil 4, so, you know, I'll side with RE4 over Dead Space. They're two different games as well. I get it, third-person horror titles, but, yeah, Dead Space Remake is great. $17.49, definitely check that out. Lost Judgment Digital Deluxe Edition is 80% off for $13.99. This is an outstanding deal. You get Lost Judgment, the Detective Essentials Pack, and the School Stories expansion pack. You don't get the Kaito Files expansion pack, which is a bummer, but still, Lost Judgment is a great follow-up to Judgment. Obviously, do play Judgment first, and then you can jump into Lost Judgment, which is a great, great game. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, 50% off for $19.99. Excellent action Metroidvania here. Great art style. Platforming's pretty good. Puzzles were decent. Some of them I thought were a little bit grating, but for the most part, really good. And as a Metroidvania, I think it's a really solid pickup for $19.99. Next up, Pacific Drive, 40% off for $17.99. Incredible atmosphere to this game, great visuals. The crafting shtick just ain't my cup of tea. I couldn't enjoy this game as much as a lot of other people, but credit to the studio that worked on this game. They're continuing to update this game, continuing to make it better. Have a lot of respect for that, and again, from an ambiance and a vibe standpoint, Pacific Drive is awesome. Castlevania: The Dominus Collection, 20% off for $19.99. Yes, it's only 20% off, but from a value standpoint, this deal is already crazy with the 3 Castlevania games: Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, as well as Order of Ecclesia. I literally have these games physically on the DS, so you know that I'm going to be, you know, totally biased towards this, but they're great Castlevania titles, and yes, they're DS games, so they have the janky setup and the presentation, but still very much worth to go through all of these games at essentially $6 and change a pop. That's a great deal. And lastly, Psychonauts 2, 80% off for $11.99. Great platformer here, great visuals, charming, comedic at times, but well done as far as being a quirky platformer, and at $11.99, I think it's a great price. 60 bucks might be a little bit much, but 12 bucks definitely a good pickup. But that is going to do it for me. Again, a lot of great PSN game deals under the price of $20, over 10, but yeah, this is for those of you that got some dollars to spend. That'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.